Hi, I'm Neil Christensen, author of Dark White and Malcolm Karma Cold Turkey, and welcome back to my sporadic series, I'm reading House of Leaves, so you don't have to. After the brutal nightmare that was Chapter 5, we move on to something very different in Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is only 5 pages long in total. There's a page and a half of our primary story. That's Zampano's manuscript about the Navidson record. And then there's 3 pages of footnotes. This time they're calling it an endnote. Chapter 6 starts off talking about the family's pets. The dog, Hillary, and the cat, Mallory. It's a Saturday morning, and the kids are watching cartoons on TV. Karen is outside smoking a cigarette and talking on the phone, while Will and his brother Tom are taking photographs of the mysterious hallway from the safety of the living room. Suddenly, the dog and the cat dart into the living room, right past Will and Tom, and right through the door into the hallway and disappear into the darkness. Will is startled by this, but before he can run in and try to retrieve the dog, he stops because he hears the dog barking, but not from the hallway. He hears the dog barking outside. Immediately, Karen starts shouting at him for letting the pets out. Will investigates and finds that, sure enough, both the dog and the cat are in the backyard. Zampano reflects on the fact that everyone seems to just kind of gloss over this. This specifically, but also the fact and the idea that the house seems to reject animals. And while Zampano says he's puzzled by the fact that people don't seem to want to dive deeper into this, he himself then just glosses over it and moves on, finishing the chapter by saying that Tom and him have decided to employ human investigation of the hallway. As we move into the endnote, Johnny himself reflects as well on the idea that the house seems to reject animals. He laments the fact that Zampano didn't take the time to dive deeper into this himself. He says that he himself would dive deeper into it, except he's distracted. Of course, the thing he's distracted by is Thumper. He says that she came into the shop, and while she was there, he went into one of his long, convoluted, unbelievable stories about his life. Apparently, she was charmed by this, and later gave him her number. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, he works up the courage and dials the number, only to find out that it's not her phone number, but the number for her beeper. He leaves his number for a callback, but she never returns the call. Then Johnny goes into this long, rambling diatribe that reads like stream of consciousness, but with less coherence. Very reminiscent of the ramblings that his mother put in the letters that she wrote to him in the height of her madness. The chapter ends with Johnny back at Zampano's old apartment, staring out into the courtyard. And so now, in the shadow of unspoken events, I watch Zampano's courtyard darken. Everything whimsical has left. I try to study the light, going carefully from my room, in the glass of my memory, in the moon stream of my imagination. The weeds, the windows, every bench. But the old man is not there, and the cats are all gone. Something else has taken their place. Something I am unable to see. Waiting. I am afraid. It is hungry. It is immortal. Worse, it knows nothing of whim. And that's it. That's chapter 6. There's not much to analyze here other than the revelation that the house itself doesn't seem to want to have animals inside of it. And actually, the more you kind of look at it and turn it over, it's not that the house doesn't want the animals in itself proper, but animals are not allowed to be in these supernatural areas of the house. Anything that is part of that growing bigger and bigger, the hallways, the corridors, the giant rooms that have ceilings that are endless, When animals enter those areas, they are rejected and sent out of the house. It sort of implies that the house itself has a personality, an intention, that it thinks, that it knows what it's doing, that it's purposeful. I'm also starting to get worried about Johnny and what this is doing to him. Chapter 7 is more of an average-sized chapter, and we'll dive into that next. Until then, if you're liking this, go ahead and subscribe, click the like button, and tell other people. It's a crazy book, but that's why I'm reading House of Leaves, so you don't have to.